Greetings, geeks and nerds, I'm Legion Universe and White and Nerdy, and it's finally due time that I finish what I started. I don't remember exactly when I started it. It was November of last year, I think, and now I'm going to officially finish it, which is the Batman 66 entire line. I talked about the first season, the second season, and the third season. All of those reviews I will pin in the comments down below where you can find Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. But this is the final review, as this is something I didn't talk about and kind of neglected when I talked about Season 1 of Batman 66. After Season 1, they wanted something bigger and more exciting to do in the world of superhero-dom. And during the time, Batman was ruling TV. He was the highest successful show on, television way before Season 2 would get even more popular, and then Season 3 where things fell apart. Again, if you want to learn more about that, I will pin in the comment every single review where you can go back and watch those. But it's finally time that we talk about Batman the movie. I know, not the DVD cover that a lot of people were expecting. They were expecting Adam West in that bright blue outfit, and then Burt Ward on the side with all purple in the background. Nope, I got this version, which has audio commentary with Adam West and Burt Ward, a patrol of the Batmobile, Batman Futurette, still galleries, and the trailers and teasers. So yeah. So just remember that during this time, and this was way before the Christopher Reeve Superman movie in 1978 would take over the world by storm. So keep in mind that this is still when things are different. So this is just going to be my review and also rundown of the Batman 66 movie, just to let people know. So this is going to be a review of Batman the movie, 1966. So for people that were confused and thinking that this was the 1989 review, nope, sorry, but maybe someday I'll review that. But this is the 1966 original Batman movie, so just to let people know, this is just going to be my review and also my own rendition of how I feel about the movie to this day. Also, for a film over 50 years old by this point, just to let people know there might be some slight spoilers to worry about for this review. And just to let people know that, I'm going to drop this now, that this is one of my favorite all-time Batman live-action movies. Not animated movies, although I really should review my favorite Batman animated movie at some point. If not this year, then always next year. But this is one of my favorite Batman movies of all time, so of course I'm going to have mostly good opinions to say about it, but there are a few things that I will admit that I do not like about the movie, but it doesn't bother me or drag me down every time I watch this movie, as basically this is kind of nostalgic for me because the first time I've seen Batman the movie was from Blockbuster, and Blockbuster was the inspiration for this channel. In fact, even when I first joined YouTube, I did movie reviews because I grew up with renting movies from Blockbuster, and I've always enjoyed movies, and Blockbuster or going to the video store was always a thing that me and my family did every weekend, which is kind of why the birth of this channel is mostly like nostalgic things that I would rent from Blockbuster or other video stores. So this is a very special episode to me, and I know to a lot of other people that really love when I review the original Batman. So, let's start out the Batmobile, put the atomic battery to power and turbines to speed, as I'm going to dig into my own review and retrospective of Batman the movie. And I know that I don't do reviews like other YouTubers, but everyone does reviews in their own different ways, so don't pick on me if this is not the review that you thought it was. But let's talk about Batman the movie from 1966. Out of the gate, I love how this film uses every single famous villain from the original series, Penguin, Riddler, Joker, and Catwoman, but this time played by Lee Merriweather. Yeah, if you remember, I talked about how Julie Newmar did not return into Batman after basically Season 2 and never reappearing until 2016. Julie was a famous actress/model, so of course she would not reappear for the movie even though she really wanted to return for the role as Catwoman. But the more than one villain idea would be taken into the extreme when it came to season 2, definitely, as sometimes they had two villains that would team up and make more of a threat to the dynamic duo. As the story with this one is kind of simplistic. The villain kidnap a scientist or inventor named Commodore Smidlap, and they use his inventor, like a dehydrator type of deal thing, to go after the World Union's leader, aka United Nations leaders, and abduct them so they could take over the world. And that is a goofy plot that this movie could have, and yet for some reason, 50 years later, I think almost like 2 years if we'll be 50 years old, which goddamn, is that even though it's the goofiest concept ever put into a movie, as far as I can think of, it really hammered home the feeling of like, even still watching this, as a kid and still, like 20 years nowadays, I forget when I first discovered the Batman 66 movie. I think I was 9 years old, and here I am at 29, so I think it was 20 years ago. And it just hit that feeling of threat somehow. And I don't know how that was intentional. Maybe Lorenzo Semple Jr., the writer behind it, just really liked that idea and wanted to really make it stick. That every time I watch this movie, you still feel that threat and danger happening even behind the scenes. But yeah, it's a unique idea that's never been put to the big screen before. It just honestly makes it feel even more so genuine. Even Batman becomes a threat. As yeah, they even managed to kidnap Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, but it doesn't go too far for the movie concept, but that's how goofy that it kind of becomes. And in case you're thinking, things couldn't get goofier? No, they really do, because they have Adam West carrying around a big-sized cartoon bomb and trying to get rid of it.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
But mostly with the movie trying to teach you, like, hey, Batman and Robin are in serious danger in this movie, that anything that they do can put them at huge risk. And something also that this movie does that no other movie has really experimented with, being in the Batcave a lot more, which is something that the series wanted to do more, but the movie did first. And I sincerely mean that, as even with the Robert Pattinson The Batman movie, you never really get to experience his Batcave. I think the last time that we ever had a true Batcave experience was The Dark Knight Rises, and that's kind of sad. But the 66 Batcave was one of the most exciting sets that they ever wanted to really experiment with and use. And in season 2, mostly so, they experimented with it a lot more and using a lot more of the Bat gadgets, like the Batcopter, the Batcycle, the Batboat, and everything like that, which the movie kind of brought to life first. And it really goes to show you of how much love was put into this movie to really kind of make this series a lot more of just not a stepping stone, but a huge part of a lot of people. And the Batcave is really one of the most famous examples of this, as even after the show ended, there was a bunch of people going to the Batcave tour to check out the set and see how it all looked and everything. And even Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham had a part where you could go and technically visit the old 66 Batman set, and even you can be in the Lego Batcave, I suppose you would say. So it really goes to show you that how big that this little set that they had really was, and how they wanted to play around with it a lot more. And even later, bringing Julie Newmar along so she could look at the Batcave herself, as it was somewhere where she wanted to really be and look at and everything, because her co-stars Cesar Romero, Frank Gorshin, and Burgess Meredith all got to look at the Batcave, and she was the one person in the villain lineup, kind of, that never got to see what the Batcave it fully looked like. So it's nice to know that even still nowadays, it's a small pop culture reference, but it goes so long. Is that without the Batcave, it wouldn't have appeared in so much media and merchandise. I'm not saying the comics. I mean, the comics always had the Batcave and everything. I'm saying like for movies and video game standard, like this is pretty much where the Batcave really became popular. And technically speaking, throughout this, the Batcave became its own simple character and its own kind of thing that you could really just enjoy in itself. Also, this may be a goofy superhero movie, but you know what? Fuck it. I still love this movie to this day. It's still one of my all-time favorite Batman films, despite of what people say about it. It's not much, but it really had a staple on my childhood, and it really gave me a new breath of fresh air, especially to Adam West, who I kind of forgotten at the time. And yes, I'm sorry to still admit this, people, but Adam West is still one of my favorite all-time Batmans. He may be goofy, he may be campy, but he's still one of my favorites. I'm with Mark Hamill on this one, people. This is still one of my favorite series ever, and if people pick on it or call it like goofy or whatever, I am gonna join Mark Hamill in fisticuffing people. I am really going to go that far. I am siding with the Joker this time on this one. And I can't lie, man. Yeah, I really do like Batman. The movie from 1966. It's a staple of my childhood, and it really kind of brought back to life Adam West, who I kind of forgotten about before that point, and it really kind of brought him back into my nostalgic vision long before I would buy the Batman 66 series, something that I've always wanted in a DVD collection, which now I officially own. And the only bad thing that I can say about it is that some of the scenes drag out for too long. Sometimes you really focus in on Batman and Robin way too much than the other side characters, as even Alfred, Commissioner Gordon, and Chief O'Hara get kind of like pushed off to the side. We're not paying attention to them as much as we used to with the 66 series, which is kind of sad because they were such interesting characters in of themselves. And also, some scenes with the villain kind of go on for much longer than need to. As much as I love the villain, sometimes you're spending like way too much time with them. And one of the things that I kind of hate that go nowhere is the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Miss Kitka. Well, Catwoman. Yes, I know they have a relationship in the comics. Yes, I know this was supposed to be a big reveal for Batman choosing the woman of justice over the woman of villainy, and that's great and all. It's just I really wish that there was something more there, like maybe there was a big payoff, which unfortunately there may have been, but it's long since forgotten. So this is a staple of my childhood, as I said. It's one of the movies that I never really experienced until 20 years ago for myself personally, as this is still one of the best Batman series that I have ever seen. Yes, Adam West may be long gone, but his legacy will never be forgotten with Batman the movie. This is just a great nostalgic staple for not just me, but for a lot of viewers out there that I associate with when they talk about their own memories with Batman 66. So, my Funko Pop rating of Batman the movie is going to be a Jet Skellington because it's awesome, it's nostalgic, and it still holds up to this day as just a staple of a lot of people's childhood, just like the famous Jet Skellington himself. So my Funko Pop rating is going to be a Vampire Jet Skellington. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with a link in the description down below. And let me know what you thought about Batman the movie, if you have seen it. If it's one of your favorites like it is mine, does it hold a special memory to you like it does me? Or do you just hate it altogether because Batman 66 is so goofy? Let me know in the comments down below. And as sad as I am to say it because it's one of my favorite Batman series and yours, we are officially done with the Adam West Batman series. But maybe, just maybe, mind you, I will review the Return of the Cape Crusaders, or re-review it, because I already did a review of it. Not a good one, but could still we review it in the future, as one with Batman vs. Two-Face, and if that's something that you'd like to see, let me know by either liking the video or commenting down below. And maybe not this year, but maybe next year, I'll review those two movies that I own in my collection. So, to the memory of Adam West, we will always remember the shining blue knight or the shining white knight of Gotham. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I believe I've been waiting nerdy, and I hope that I have completed your nostalgia factor to a good value. Yeah, you know, there's a movie or something that's coming pretty soon. Huh. For the life of me, I cannot remember who exactly is coming back in the theaters pretty soon with a brand new movie of something that I'd have to review pretty damn soon. Who is that again? Alright, I promised. With the new Godzilla X Kong movie coming out, I think it's finally time I go back and revisit this son of a bitch.